cut my wings off, shot me down, I cannot fly. Cut my wings off, shot me down, I cannot fly. When I lay my head down at night, I sure cry.
So you never know who you're going to find in a Madison's hotel room here in Belfast. I've actually been joined by a real-life hobo. Steve, welcome to Belfast, sir.
Thank you.
So first of all, what do you think of our lovely city?
Well, I haven't seen much of the city, but the people have been something else. All the gigs we've played has just been, it's so friendly, I mean, and also so excited. I'm very impressed. I love it.
All right, so you've done the gigs and you're at the screening today of John T. Davis movie, the famous hobo movie. What do you make of that film?
Well, John sent me that movie before so I could see it before I come, and I told him, we were having dinner last night, and I said to him that movie was so real I could smell it. And because that's something I used to do, was hop freights. He loved that, and he captured something in that movie that I can't really describe, but it's just like a thing. It's like something you could eat, and it was almost scary how real it was and how good of a job he did, how he got their trust to be able to even do it, and the bravery to go jump on the train.
Right, yeah. So how many years were you yourself riding on the railroads for?
Yeah, like 14, I think. 14.
And why did you give up that lifestyle? Was it just you got too old for it, or?
I didn't make no money. Well, you know, when I started riding, I was real young, and I was trying to stay away from the police, and also it used to be much easier to get work. Like, we used to do migrant work, so you'd follow crops and things, take freight train, go pick apples in Wenatchee, like in John's movie, or down California, do tomatoes, or shuck corn here and there. So, but they stopped needing people so much. It all got so, I mean, even when I was doing it, already had changed. And then it just became like a thing, you know. But I was playing music, and I kind of got drug out of it because of music.
Right, yeah.
You know, like people wanted me to come and play, and then it didn't seem so fun to go back on a train and live under a bridge, you know. About to the other cheek, and I don't know what's all going to me, but I'll do my best to treat you alright. Do me wrong, so they're gonna find a fight. Are you ready to sing? It goes, that's the way the things go down, they fall to the ground. That's the way the thing goes down. Fall to the ground. That's the way. Come on. The thing goes down. You guys are not doing it right. And even if it's crowded back there, I'm going to come and get you. I swear, guys. Here we go again. That's the way. The thing goes down. It fall to the ground. That's the way. The thing goes down. It fall. That's the way the thing goes down. It fall to the ground. That's the way the thing goes down. It fall to the ground. That's the thing goes down to the ground. That's the way the thing goes down. That's the way the thing goes down. It fall to the ground. That's the way the thing goes down. It fall to the ground. I would kick out of my home. And I wasn't quite 14.
Right.
So, you know, that was, and there happened to be tracks where I lived, and hobos used to come, and so I'd heard a lot about it and kind of knew all about it before I ever left. And
right.
so that was the way, when I didn't have nowhere to live, I just kind of fell in that world. And it's like, at least back then, it was a whole other world that you kind of went alongside the real world. So you could kind of hide.
Yeah.
And it was a weird, but you know, when you're that young, you just kind of you kind of flexible, and you just kind of all of a sudden, you're in that world, you know, and the people take care of you, sort of, and I was pretty lucky.
Did it become a big adventure, or was it really, really scary?
Yeah, like, maybe if I would have started later, it would have been both.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just kind of normal, you know, but it was dangerous, you know. I mean, it's not no safe hopping on no trains at all in the first place. And then you got, like, a lot of criminals out there and stuff. But when I started, it was more than seemed like criminals. It was like guys still left over from the Depression.
Yeah.
And also from World War II and stuff. People just didn't fit in. So it was more of a kind of, yeah, there was more real hobos, like the kind of people who wanted to work. And then you have, there's three things. There's like hobos and tramps and bums.
Yeah.
And the tramp, hobo is someone who kind of moves around and works. The tramp is someone who tries to move around and not work.
Right.
And the bum is someone who don't do nothing.
Right, yeah.
So this was like the category you could fall in. And there used to be more, at least with my experience, there was more hobos around. And then later, as the work dried up, it became more tramps and nobodies and bums. I got tired when I wanted to get out of that life. This is, I'm going to get to my more hobo song. This is a little bit of a hobo song. I have seen things the money can't buy. From a moving freight to midnight sky. And I have cooked my food on hobo fire. Never tasted nothing so good, and I ain't gonna lie. That's the damn way things happen like that. Rolling on, no matter how many times they go wrong, ain't got no time to say goodbye. If I ever was to stop, Lord surely die. You know, some men want the money. That's the way the thousand land. Who's to say what I write? That's the way the thousand road. Last poor man turn out the light. I have seen things money can't buy. From the moving frame to midnight sky. I have cooked my food on a hobo fire. Never tasted nothing so good. Lord, ain't no lie. That's the way the dancing lane. Never tasted nothing so good. reckon I'm gonna be the last poor man who turns out alive. I reckon I'm gonna be the last poor man who turns out alive. I reckon ain't gonna be no rich man who turns out alive. I reckon I'm gonna be the last poor man who turns out alive.
Any dangerous moments jumping on and off the train? Any near-death experiences?
No, man, I got professional, you know. You don't get off a train when it's going too fast.
Right.
So you learn how to get off, you know. We was talking today at the concert. I gave everyone a demonstration. But you like, you know, like if you're trying, sometimes you need to get off a train when it's moving because you don't want to go into that yard.
Right.
So what you do is like, you know, you throw your bindle off, which is your pack, your roll, and then you can hang on like might call it grab or something, and then you hang down and you get your feet going, how fast you think the train's going, and then you drop.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Otherwise, if you just go down like that, you face plant.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people don't know how to get off trains. They can get killed that way by going under or just get real hurt. But you learn how to get your feet going, and then you jump off, and then you just kind of run alongside the train.
My God.
And then getting on is a lot easier.
Did you see many people getting killed?
Yeah, I never saw no one getting killed, but, you know, you'd always hear about someone who just gotten killed or, like, you know, someone, a load shifted and they got squished or a train wreck or, you know, you hear about it. But I didn't run into nobody who got killed there, but I knew a guy who lost his leg, so, you know.
All right.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
It ain't no safe thing. It just was another world you could live in. And when I was young, I didn't think about it. I just thought, well, this is all right. You know, you live outside a lot, and we lived in these, like, you make camps, and they call them jungles. And so you live in the jungle, you know, and you might be under a bridge, alongside the track, in the bushes by the track, you know. And a lot of people use the same ones over, so there's like old fireplace there and stuff.
And is this how you get into music as well, sitting around under tunnels, sitting around campfires and things? Is that where the whole music came from?
Well, I learned to play before I left,
Right.
but you know, and I played most of the time while I was gone, so I think, you know, obviously I picked up just, you know, tons of stories and heard other people playing, even if it's just some spoons or harmonica, you know. You know, and then also as I, you know, when the 60s started coming around, you know, I started like being more a little bit in the world, you know, so I go to hear the blues boys play, you know, blues people and folk things. And so, you know, you pick it all up and kind of make your thing. And so, you know, I mean, because I played blues a long time ago back then, so there wasn't so many people playing like that old kind of fashioned blues, so then I'd sort of get some gigs.
Right, yeah.
Then if I didn't have no gigs, I'd go play on the street. We might be like in, you know, like get off in Minnie or somewhere and play, go down and busk in the street and get a little money and stuff like that. And
Did you make a good living from doing that?
no.
No?
But, you know, you get some money. I think people still do trains, but it ain't the same. And the whole thing is like, I think it's turned into like kind of a sport,
Right.
or a place for real bad people to hide. I know Mexican people still do get on them to go do migrant stuff,
Right.
but I think it's a different world.
All right, and I heard as well there's a big hobo convention. Were you ever at that?
Yeah, it's in Britt, Iowa. They had it every year, I think, for 100 years.
Right.
So it's been going on forever, and they crown a hobo king and a hobo queen. Boy, I don't want to know about the queen. You know. Them girls don't look too good who ride trains, I'm going to tell you. They haven't any of their teeth left.
Are there many girls that do that?
I didn't see many.
Right.
There was a few, but it's mainly men going out there. It's pretty rough and stuff, you know. But there are some. But I went a couple times that one, but I wasn't attracted to the convention so much, you know. I felt like it was like, I try to stay out of things where there's lots of people.
Right, yeah.
So I was a little bit more shy about that big groups like that, you know.
All right, so you've given up the hobo lifestyle. Well, what does life have in store for you now? Is it music full time? Or?
Yeah, I just play music, and I'm happy to be alive. So, and then people like, you know, it's kind of funny. It gave me a lot of food for songs. You know, so now all of a sudden, for some reason, people like, you know, I used to talk about that kind of stuff. I could clear a room out in 20 seconds. You know, oh, you're going to talk about that hobo stuff, and I wanted to leave. But now people are like kind of interested in hearing about that old thing, but also I try not to play music that's like kind of, I ain't trying to play like no sort of like boring kind of folk music or nothing like that. We go try, when I play, I try to rock it up a little bit and make it a little bit nasty and stuff, and then the young people kind of like it.
Yeah.
And then I try to tell them a little bit about the old blues and things, so that, you know, they don't think that all that kind of music is just boring. Because for me, the young people, like, they don't know that if there wouldn't have been these, this is more about the people like the colored people picking cotton in Mississippi and singing to each other over the fields. Yeah. There wouldn't have been no rock and roll. Yes. And there wouldn't have been no hip hop and no nothing. Yes. Yeah. And so, but they don't know that, you know. So like, that's my little mission, you know, is to go, because most people, young people say, you like blues? They go, no, that's boring. You know, they think about some middle-aged guys playing Stevie Ray Vaughan music in a bar. Yes. Yeah. But you know, you go to them old Delta boys, and they was like getting down in the juke joints. So that's what I try to do, is get down a little bit. And most of the time we play it for young people. Right. And they go, oh man, we really like that. What's that? I go, that's blues. And they go, oh, we don't like blues. They go, but we like what you're doing. I go, well, there you go.
So now that you've been here to Belfast, I mean, there's a big music tradition in Ireland, so there is. Will you take any inspiration back to maybe write some stuff? Or?
I don't know about that, because they're too good. You know, but I went and heard some, look, I might hear some tonight too, but I heard this girl Shannon, somebody.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I only got to hear the encore because I only got here on the plane then. But we heard 2 songs, and I went in there, I was like, damn, they was good. Yeah. You know, and then I heard a little bit in a bar we was in, they was like getting down on the thing, and it reminds me a little bit of, you know, bluegrass music too. I'm sure that's where bluegrass music partly come from. But I love it. And so I want to go hear some more, but I've been, you know, we've been playing at night. Yes. Yeah. And then all the other stuff happened at the same time. So I didn't get to hear too much. Time for me to go, I got a train to beat. It may not be the fast way, no, but Lord, yeah, so is she.
Now, if people did want to get their hands on a copy of the new record, is there a website or something they can go to get it from?
Yeah, it's Seasicksteve.com. That's a good, I don't know how to do it very well, but I know that's what it is. And you go there, and then you can get on there, and it tells what I'm doing and things, and where to go get the record and things.
Great stuff. Well, Steve, thank you for doing this. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. I'm going to shake your hand like that so my arm don't hurt.